Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Q&A panel with Streamily for the incredible award-winning Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We are so stoked to be partnering with Sandfall Interactive for this panel. And most importantly, be sure to visit the Streamily store to get your print today. I'm Selena Price. I'm so thrilled to be hosting this panel today, and I'm so excited that you all are here. So let's bring everybody on without further ado. So I want to welcome the incredibly talented, wonderful Billy Fulford Brown, who plays Sophie in the game. Welcome, Sophie. Welcome, Billy. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Streamily. Hello, everybody.
Yay. And then next we have also the incredibly talented Esquier Maxence Cazorla.
Bonjour, mon ami. Hello.
Welcome. And
Thank
we
you.
have the wonderful voice of Ciel, Shala Nix.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shala. Good to meet you.
Welcome. And we also have the voice of Emma, as well as a few other expeditioners, Nola Klopp.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to be here.
Welcome. And then we have the mocap actor for Maëlle and another character, Charlotte Upner.
Hi, so happy to be here.
Welcome. So happy to have you all. How are you all feeling today?
Good.
Great.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Welcome. I see a lot of folks are very excited to see you all, and I'm excited to be here with all of you. So I guess I just wanted to start off with like a few group questions, and then we'll get into like some specific ones. But of course, please feel free, everybody, to chime in. Folks, I think, are just really excited to chat about this game and chat with you all. So I think we're gonna have a good time. I wanted to start out, this might be like a huge question, so please, feel free to yap on about it. But what has been the most unique aspect of this whole experience for you? Billy, I'd like to start with you, if that's okay.
Oh, unique aspect. I think for me, it's been the absolute. Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of feedback. Is that me? Does everyone else hear that?
Yeah, I hear it as
Sorry,
well.
maybe Rob in the back can work his magic. I think the most unique thing has been just the absolute camaraderie of the entire team, and I mean Sanford, Kepler, the mocap actors, the French voice actors, the English voice actors, like everybody. I've never worked on a game like this where we've all come together and like genuinely become mates and enjoyed, like, we've seen each other so much, and you don't really get that with a game. And I just, yeah, I feel really grateful for that, and I think it's really special and something that I'm gonna always cherish. So yeah, I've loved that. It's been very unique and very special.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so special to hear. And I think it's like obvious, chat can confirm this. I think it's very obvious that for the fans that you all really get along really well, to the point of maybe a little teasing, right?
Yeah, well, I think there was a strange connection already with quite a lot of the English cast. Like, a lot of us already knew each other from different projects, or like I've known Jen English just for years and years and years. I've known Rich from other things. Obviously, Jen knows Ben, and then it all kind of wove together, and then we got to meet everyone else, and it was like it just felt really special. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
That's lovely. Thank you, Billy. Maxence, how about you? What's been the most unique aspect of this experience?
Oh, the entire thing has been completely incredible. I mean, what Billy said is very right. The fact that we became a family, and we all felt this game was special. I think none of us could have predicted what happened, but just the fact that we went through all this together, from doing it with heart and passion to the the reveal of the game to the release, and then see how it started to people started to connect with the game and how it affected us. And I don't know, it's been like, me personally, I gave 2 years of my life to this game, and every single part of it has been special in its own way. So it would be, I think, hard to just talk about one specific thing. I would say just the fact to be involved in something so special. I feel like we all agree that it's the kind of thing that happens once or twice if you're lucky in a career. So just to know that we have been lucky enough to experience that, it's something that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. So I don't know, it's kind of cliche, but I would say just the adventure itself is the treasure.
I love that. Yes. Oh, someone just wrote, to the ones who come after.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Charlotte, has there been a particularly unique experience that you wanted to touch on for this?
Was that Charlotte or Charlotte?
Charlotte, sorry, Charlotte.
Just clarifying. This always happens. Like, is that a T? Is there a
So
T
which
in
one
there?
was it?
No.
What has been the most unique aspect of this whole experience for you, Charlotte?
Well, exactly the same as Billy and Maxence. Plus, it was my first experience as mocap actress, so I'll cherish that forever. And to be for my first experience in Clair Obscur, it's quite amazing. So all of it is unique.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like diving in the deep end, but with a lot of wonderful folks to catch you, right?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. Awesome. Nola, how about you?
Yeah, so for me, I actually started working with Sandfall in, I believe it was 2021, like way back when they were still, working on like a demo for the game. And I started recording a placeholder VO for Lune or Lune. And then, in the end, they kept me on. I was so glad as, the voice of Emma and other characters that I voice. And so for me, what's really been very special is just to see how this game has, evolved over the years, and also what's remained the same. It was already amazing and beautiful way back then. Like the dev said, no one had any idea that it would become this big, the way it turned out. But they deserve it so much, and it's just really special to see where this game got, and all the love it rightfully deserves.
That's amazing. And Shala, how about you?
Just to repeat what everyone else has said, being part of such a talented team from the offset, being part of such a beautiful story with these incredibly authentic characters, I think was just, something quite special from the get-go, as Maxence said, being able to really be able to dig deep under the surface of these people and this story, and then I think for me what's been probably the most the most kind of surprising element of it is just meeting the fans, meeting some of the fans in person, meeting some of the players in person, and looking into the eyes of the people who have played this game, and really sharing these really kind of emotional moments with these people who this game has changed so many lives for. And it's been just beautiful to share that, because that's why I do it. That's why we all do it, I think. And that's been a really beautiful and new element from my side. And then the team have obviously been just so supportive. And it's just it's been a joy from the beginning, and even now, as people still play the game today.
That's
for the
awesome.
first time.
Thank you all so much for sharing that. And I know that I can see folks in the chat are just so thrilled and share those sentiments of like, this is such a universal game. It talks about so many things that a lot of us can
Death.
experience in our individual human lives, right? But in different ways, in a fantastical realm, but translating it, of course, to our own personal lives, and it's beautiful. I'd love to take a moment to hear on that note. I think we mentioned her for a moment. Lune, we do have a message to share from Kirsty Ryder, who couldn't join us today, but she didn't want to leave us without saying something. So I'd love to share a message from her if we can do that.
Everyone, I'm Kirsty Ryder. I play Lune in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I just wanted to send a quick message out to say I'm so sorry I can't be there with you tonight. I was really looking forward to getting to chat more about the game and hear some of your questions, but you have an amazing group with you, so I'm sure I won't be missed. And hi everyone, if you're watching this as well. I guess if I was there, I would want to say thank you so much to everyone who's played the game. It's such a joy to see people loving it and engaging with the characters and the story and laughing and crying with us, and it's been a real privilege to get all of this time to engage with the game and talk more about it. And I'm also really excited about this partnership with Streamily and getting a slightly more accessible way of signing prints for people all around the world who maybe can't make it to signings or cons or whatever it might be. So I'm really looking forward to starting that as well. Have an amazing Q&A. Wish I could be there. See you, bye.
Oh, yay, Kirsty. We do have an amazing group of people, but I think we all miss Kirsty a little bit, just a little. Yeah. So I had a couple more questions for the group, but so yeah, why don't we dive into there? Clair Obscur is a painting technique using strong contrast between light and dark to highlight specific aspects in a painting. Do you see that in your character specifically? And if so, how do you see that? And I'd like to go in the other order. So Shala, can we start with you for that one?
Good luck.
Yeah, I think most of our characters probably contain a lot of light and shade, and the kind of the depth and the breadth of how light and dark that is, obviously, yeah, is very individual. And I think for CL, it's it's just been a joy to kind of. She's really complex, so there's, you know, she is mostly light and as it would seem on the surface, and then we can dig a lot deeper and see how much shade and darkness she's actually covering up, and how much suffering she's actually endured. But I just love her sense of humor, her wry kind of comments within the group. But I also love because she has the sun and the moon cards in battle as well, her Twilight mode, and obviously that's very sort of distinctive light and shade, and I just love that. I love that element, like how can you use what's hurt you to empower you? How can you have lots of different tools in your knapsack, and what tools are you going to use for what battle life might bring you? I feel like it's so symbolic. So yeah, there's so much there, and I won't go into it too much because it's obviously quite traumatic. But just love how she's able to use light to kind of, find her sort of camaraderie within the group, and go and defeat the Paintress.
I love that. I loved CL's cards. I also thought her intro was incredible.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah. Strong start.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Nola, do you see any like of that kind of light and dark reflected in Emma or any of or the other characters that you play in the game?
Yeah, I'd say for Emma, I consider her very light, mostly because she, you know, despite all the very tough stuff that she has to deal with, she tries to stay strong for her people and give everyone warmth and support, because she decides to stay, but she appreciates the people that go on the expeditions and just give them love and support. And as far as Julie goes, what's actually interesting is we recorded quite a bit more for her, but that didn't end up making it in the game. But I would say she is definitely more on the darker side, or at least her her experiences and what she had to deal with. So in a way, I kind of hope that maybe someday that'll be shared with the fans, because I think they would appreciate knowing more about Julie. She's a
Prequel
cool character.
confirmed.
Yes, Julie, let's go.
We've been getting a lot of excitement for Julie in the
I
chat.
saw,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm so glad.
It's awesome. Folks are ready. They yearn for Julie. Yes, I love that. Charlotte, and with your unique experience with the mocap, were you able to see that? I'm sure certainly with Mael, and how were you able to explore that?
Is that spoiler free?
So that, yeah, I meant
Good
to do this at the beginning and kind of intermittently throughout. We kind of decided that we weren't going to worry too much about spoilers. So heads up, folks.
Everyone's played it by now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Spoilers coming up for the game. Be warned. Okay. Yes, please.
So yeah, Mael is a 16 years old teenager. She's light, but we can see that she's seen some things. She's been through a lot, and we can understand that the duplicity with Alicia shows that there is the light side and the dark side. So she's both of them. She went through so much. She's a teenager, but she doesn't feel like it, and we can understand why. So that duplicity was so hard to get and to act on it, show the lightness and the hardness of the characters. But I think it's obvious that she has both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I think I agree. I think it's very obvious seeing that in how she moves, how she fights, and all of that. And wonderful. Thank you. Maxence, how about you? With Esquier or Gustave Verso Renoir?
I mean, Esquier is pretty easy because if we talk Clair Obscur, Clair is the we and Obscur is the woo, and Esquier is pretty much known to balance perfectly the we and the woo. So I would say that. And then you got Oskio. I think Oskio is full woo, and for people who don't know who Oskio is, I'm not going to say it, but if you do, yeah, and. But yeah, I would say that. I mean, it's easy. I think AC is the easiest one to answer that question. But yeah, the we balances the woo.
It's someone in chat
Always.
just say, we love SKA in this house. So big SKA fans.
Woohoo!
Whee!
Whee!
And Billy, how about that with Sophie?
Yeah, I think it's such a hard one, isn't it? Because I think when Sophie's with us for not very long, and when we were recording it could have come across, I think, as very dark the whole time, because it is, it's a tricky time she's going through. But I think, again, like Jen Svedberg-Yen, the writer, and Guillaume and everyone were able to bring lightness to her lines still, even during those short times. So I think there is a seriousness to her just due to the nature of what she is experiencing live. We don't really learn much of what happened before or why her and Gustave aren't together anymore. We don't really learn all that. So, prequel, that would be great. I would like to know. I'd like the information.
Confirmed.
Yum, Tom, help me. But I think I hope she doesn't come across too dark, for it, but I think she is a little bit darker, sadly, just because of what she's going through. But I loved her little sprinkles of light and, you know, wanting to go with Gustav to the harbour when she could have just sacked him off and gone lonely. So yeah, I think there's a little, she's trying to get the sprinkles of light.
Yeah, I feel like Sophie has a pretty big the character has a pretty big responsibility right at the beginning of the game to help set the tone of having that hopefulness so that it's not like, wow, what a bummer. But also the reality of what this community is going through.
Yeah. But again, you know, and I'm sure we all feel like this, like I am just ever thankful to, I mean, Estelle, who couldn't be here, but everyone who did the mocap, Charlotte, Maxence, Joanna, everybody, because you just built these characters in this world for us, and it was just beautiful, and it just made it for us. So like, I'm just forever grateful to Estelle for the work that she did. So yeah, love you, Estelle.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you. So I have I'm going to fully admit this is a bit of a self-indulgent question. I'm a huge Shakespeare fan. So I was wondering, if your character was a Shakespearean hero, who do you think they would be and why? And maybe we don't have to go like in the circle. If somebody wants to chime in first to toss that in.
I need like a good 48 hours for that one.
Yeah, same.
Right? Do the research.
Yes, there are many Shakespeare characters and many different reasons.
Certainly.
Well, the only teenager I know from Shakespeare is Juliet, so.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Miranda?
Yeah. I could see Maëlle and Miranda.
Wow.
Definitely. Miranda's in The Tempest, which is one of the last plays Shakespeare ever wrote, and she's quite independent. Yeah.
I have to read it now.
Well, you all think on that, and we'll get back to it later. And that'll be...
That's a great question, though. That's a great question.
I'll be Googling all night now. Like,
I'm fine with that one.
I start getting random emails.
That's
like,
a really good one, yeah.
Can we meet again in 1 week?
So, I'm so sorry, Charlotte. What'd you say?
Can we meet again in 1 week?
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's perfect. We'll put it in the calendar. That'll be great.
Streamily can release a post next week, right? We'll send in our answers. They can release a post.
We'll get that on the books.
Confirm.
Yeah. So, and then I guess this one was more of like a joke one. How many baguettes have you eaten since the game came out?
Oh, too many.
Croissants.
Not
I mean, we're French. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do you know though, when I last went away, they had these tiny little mini baguettes that my kids were obsessed with, and I was like, yes. They're like, can I have another one? I was like, yes. And they just kept eating these tiny perfectly formed baguettes, but I loved it. I was like, have as many as you want. Baguette is now part of our world.
But I don't know if you remember, Shala, in Los Angeles, they had the fluffy baguettes.
Yeah, see, everyone's had these baguettes, haven't they, Max? That are like made
It triggered me so much.
They're wonderful. They're really floppy. They are a bit bizarre, but they
are.
They're a bit more user friendly, I would say, because the other ones really could kill a man after a week or two, couldn't they? They really could do some serious damage.
They're better for soup at that point, I think. Yeah.
Croutons.
Awesome. Well, I do have some individual questions, but I think before we dive into those, we have another message from someone who wasn't able to join us today, and I'm sure folks will be able to recognize him the moment he starts speaking. But the wonderful Rich Keeble sent us a little message, so we'll get that up in a moment.
In the greatest video game in history, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. I just wanted to say thank you for all your support so far. I'm afraid I can't make the Q&A today because I'm away filming Series 2 of Rivals, available on Disney Plus and Hulu. but I will hopefully see you at the live signing. So have a wonderful time. Thank you for all your support. Enjoy your Q&A with the wonderful cast of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.
Awesome. We definitely miss Rich in here. I think he would bring a great energy to this this Q&A. Not that we're missing energy, but you know.
Yeah. And also you have
Rich
the
energy.
ability to mute him whenever needed, which is great. So
Yep.
no, we love you, Rich. We miss you.
We miss you, Rich. We miss you. Okay, well, I want to dive into a bit of, actually, we touched on this just a little bit, but Billy, with Sophie, at the beginning of the game, she does have that responsibility we talked a bit about. She leaves us pretty early, but she has a massive impact.
She does?
She does.
Like,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
alert.
It's in the trailer. Don't worry.
But she has a massive impact that reverberates throughout the entire game. Did you feel that responsibility going into the booth? Did you know? Were they like, hey, this is what's going on when you...
So like yes and no. So quite unusually, we did get sent the Bible about a day before recording, which was about 450 pages. And I was like, oh, I should read it. So I did. And obviously when you played the game, it's quite confusing. If you read it in black and white, it's very confusing. Very confusing. So I went in a little bit confused, I won't lie. But I sort of knew what was, where my bit fitted in. I knew it was at the beginning, and I knew how beautiful it was. Like the moment I walked in, it's quite unusual in video games to have such a basically finished product in front of you. And I was lip syncing. So again, like Estelle, Maxence, like you guys did the hard, like honestly, you did the hard work. And Charlotte, of course, but in the scene, it's like absolute hats off. And we had the whole screen, and so I had the entire scene. I had all the scenes. I had the music. I had Lorian and Alice's music. And I'm really weird, and I always like take my shoes off and turn all the lights off in the booth, and they were like, yeah, okay. So I was just all zoned in, and I mean, it's stunning. You don't really ever get that. So I did know it was very special, but at this point, you just have a project code, right? Like you get booked for a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. You have a project code. You don't know anything about it. You don't know what's happening. I didn't know, Maxence, Charlotte, Estelle, anyone. So I didn't know quite the impact that scene would have in the game, but I knew that moment was a very special moment. Yeah, I mean, I rang my friend as I left the studio, and I was like, something magical just happened. I don't know what this game is, but this is magical. So yeah, I feel very, very grateful to have had a part in this.
Yeah, it's beautiful, that whole scene. I was like, I think this is the fastest a video game has ever made me cry. Like it was
yeah, and it was
right
brutal.
out the gate.
It was brutal. I think we did that line 3 times, and I think that was the second take, because it was like and then Guillaume was like, yeah, very nice, let's have a photo, and I was like, okay. Like, right, red. I was like, could we not have done this before? And I was there like trying to smile, not everywhere, like. Yeah, it was hard, but yeah, I mean, the writing, the mocap, the music, like Nicholas's artwork, all of it, like stunning. That made it. I was very lucky. I just last minute for that, so everyone else, hats off.
Love that. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's like a painting, which I'm sure is part of the message. And Maxence, this was the hard question I mentioned, so get ready.
By the way, I hated that scene, Gustave and Sophie. I hate that scene.
Why?
Why?
Well, you
because I'm seeing a therapist right now because of that scene. That's why. Sorry, what's the question?
It's such good, right? It affected you, right? That's why we play these games.
Yes, it has.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't blame you. I'm sure it's been brought up in several different therapy sessions for many people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Maxence, you lived in LA for a little while, if I remember correctly. So where is the best taco in the city?
Wow. Okay, out of
I
all the
know where
questions you
I
could have
think it
asked
is,
me.
but
Okay,
Sonora Town, Mid
is
City.
it
No
is it
question.
wrong?
Sonora Town, Mid City. Sorry to jump in, but it is. It is. If you haven't been there, you can literally smell it
I'm
miles
writing it
away.
down.
I love Sonora
You know
Town,
what?
Shala,
That
and
was my
you're
answer.
not wrong.
That was my
You're right,
answer.
and you should say it. I love it. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Shala.
It's
Thank
unreal.
you so
And if
much.
you haven't been there, Maxence, I will literally take you. I will bring you some to France the next time I come. That's how
Okay,
good it
that deal. Okay, perfect.
How,
I was about to
how
say
worth it
Taco
is it?
Bell, and it would have been so wrong.
Oh,
Thank
that
you
would
for
have been
saving me.
really bad.
Oh yeah,
Every
it would
fans
have,
in
but
LA
it
would
didn't
have been like,
happen.
oh
You know what? You know
no.
what happened? The prequel confirmed right here today. That happened.
That happened. That's what happened. Amazing. So what I really wanted to ask you, Maxence, was not only did you voice Esquier Oskio, and of course we all know you also did the performance capture for Gustave Renoir and Verso. What was the most challenging part of differentiating those three gentlemen physically when you were recording them?
Well, I originally I was only supposed to be Gustave, so what happened was that I was not. I just played Gustave, and I thought it would be it. And when I got told that I would play Verso, I started to think, oh, I'm screwed, because if I would have known, I would have made sure to really be aware of the way Gustave walks and the way he behaves. Um, but I just acted Gustave, and the way that I was not aware of. I was not conscious about the way I was walking and the physicality of the character. So when it came to Verso, that's when I started to be like, oh, okay, we need to make sure that not only in the acting, in the physicality, those characters needs to be different. Even though they are going to be voiced by different actors, you right away you need to know that they're different. What doesn't help is that they kind of look alike. So
Yeah.
I've seen so many theories. Even Renoir. My mom, the first time my mom watched the game, she was like, "Oh, I've got this theory that Renoir is future Gustave." Don't say anything. Yeah, I mean, and she said, and she knew that I mocap both of them, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sure that's it." And I was like, "Well, yeah. You'll see."
I was so positive. I went to like other friends and I was like, who had finished the game, and I was like, I've got it figured out.
Yeah.
I'm locked in, and then kept playing, and I was like, wow, I couldn't have been more wrong. But
I mean, when you think of it, like if we're still in spoiler territory, they have been painted by the same person. So even though he's not future Gustavo Verso, they're all connected, and I think that's also why when they design the characters, they're and again, like, this is my interpretation, but yeah, they were designed by the same hand, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, I think the hardest part was to, once I knew I would play different characters, to make sure that, oh, now I've got to find them in my body and then in my acting. So I think the hardest part was the switch from Gustave to Verso, and I think Charlotte can confirm here that the very first day when I played Verso, it was a scene right after something happened to our friend Gustave, and my Verso. The very first scene I play, he has one line, and all I have to say is, actually, there's a place. That's it. And Charlotte, she has the hardest part because she has to cry. She has to be very emotional. There's this buildup. She's very upset. And so she does the scene. It's amazing. She's great. She's been crying. She's been crying 90% of the game, Charlotte. And so she does it, and then it's my turn, and me, I'm like, oh, I got this one line, I got it, and I say, actually, there's a place, and Guillaume stands up and he says, well, that's not Verso again. And we did that, I don't know how many times, Charlotte, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least 10, 15 times, if it's not more. So yeah, that was the hardest part for me, I think. And once you find the character, then everything kind of clicks, you know.
yeah, of course.
Can I ask, did you always have the cane when you were filming for Renoir?
Yeah. We had a tripod, actually. It was a
Cool.
tripod. And what's funny is that we used it in one way for Renoir. And when we did Monoko, we turned it around and that was Monoko's stick. So that was the exact same prop for Monoko and Renoir.
Love that.
Awesome.
Exclusive backstage content here.
Yeah, that was exclusive. And also prequel confirmed.
Yes.
Yes, and I love all of this exclusive information that we're getting, and you all can get your exclusive signed prints for Expedition 33 at streamily.com/expedition33.
That was so
They've
smooth.
been
Oh yeah.
Great.
That was great.
She's good. She's good.
And okay, great. Thank you. Woo! Back in. Shala, for you, CL is so cool. I wrote that in all caps. So cool. And despite, or perhaps maybe even in spite of the grief that she's endured throughout her life, during the process, when did you learn everything that CL had gone through? Was it similar to Billy, where you kind of got it all at once, or was it slowly given to you, or were you able to prepare it all?
So at the audition process was quite a long one for me, because she is so complex and so rich, because there's so much to draw from for her, and because I probably didn't have all of that information to start with. And I just remember it was the Lune and CL scene where they're staring at the stars. And I was just told that CL was the cheerful and peaceful warrior, a cheerful and serene warrior. And then there was a little bit of context. You're meeting after X amount of time. When your parents died, go. And then that was that scene. And I remember working on it for about 4 hours in the booth, just that 1-2 minute scene. And then casting came back to me and said, we like this, but we'd like you to retake. And can we dig a little deeper? And that's how, and that's kind of a mark on how deep the emotional well was that I was kind of digging from. I was like, wow, I mean, I kind of have I feel like I have an okay radar of like what I'm sending, especially when I'm like a reasonable amount of time in the booth. So I was like, and so I went back in and did another 4 hours, and then sent that, and then I was cast, and then I got the full Bible and the character breakdown, and what was really helpful for me was the relationship breakdowns, because then I got all of CL's history with Pierre, I got all of her history with Gustav, with every single character, and that was just made so much sense then. There was no wonder I was being told to, you know, really go to the heart of myself and for the character. So yeah, I got all of that. And then, but it was really cool, because that kind of vocal print that I kind of found for CL in the booth was her. You know, because I spent so long at the very beginning, you know, when she was in different circumstances, you know, once we started recording with Jane Guillaume, it was, I had the print for her, and it was just such an unusual voice print for her, because I'm kind of used to playing like rough and tough, you know, or like rough and tough kind of soldiers, or nonchalant kind of war, you know, ex-war, all kinds of like killers in battle and those kind of characters, and she kind of is that, she has that, and then but she has this, but she's so gentle, and she's you know, her vocal print was really different to anything I've ever played before, and that's why I think it was so complex to find that kind of authenticity with who she was, just drawing from my emotional world and my life experiences and the very little that I kind of knew of her. And then it was so much easier once I actually knew what happened.
Wonderful. Yeah, I remember like CL was so gentle with Mael when the first instances started happening, and Mael wasn't really sure what was going on, and it was just like, we just want to wrap him in a blanket and let him know everything will be okay. I love it. Nola, in addition to Emma, Gustav's sister, you also voice a few expedition journals that players can find throughout the game. Was there a method in the booth to how you differentiated those? And do you perhaps have a favorite?
Ooh. I'd say the one from Julie is my my favorite, but you know, she was also my favorite character next to Emma, so that helps. A method. Well, during when I was recording placeholder VO for the earlier versions of the game, I also did a bunch of the audio logs, so I was, you know, kind of used to it already with how we tackled those. I'd say for each one of them, you know, the devs just gave me a nice overview of who the character is, what their expedition year was like, what the setting is. I remember there was one in the game of, I think, a bit of an older character who eats some kinds of shrooms.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry about that.
Was that you?
I think it was this year, no? He killed an entire expedition like that, no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. So just you know, getting a good input on what's going on, and yeah, we just tried going through the entire log. So it really feels like the character is actually, you know, making the audio log, or however you want to call it, in the moment. With what they're experiencing or what they've experienced. You know, are they still hopeful, or have they completely given up? Are they about to die? You know, so yeah, it was a nice, interesting concept. And I think all of us, because I'm pretty sure everyone recorded some of the audio logs here and there. I think everyone had a blast doing those.
Yeah, it was such an interesting aspect of the game. I was really excited to find that. That's one of my favorite things to do. Is like, what happened in the past?
Yeah, it's so cool to hear about all the different expeditions, for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. And Charlotte, did you know where the story of Mael was headed to Alicia when you started this process? Did you find out further in?
No, I didn't know. Actually, we would have text day by day, so we were running everything like player playing the game. So every time we would gather Max and Estelle and like trying some theories. I think this happens because of that, and we would bring theories to Guillaume, and we would be like, "No, you didn't understand anything." And we come back the week after and ask again, and we fail every time. And actually, I think he thinks I still don't get the game or the character.
I mean, to be fair,
And I'm not sure what you're going to say.
no, but it's funny because he told us the ending, and I could see, because we worked together for a year, so we at some point we really knew each other, and I could see in Charlotte's eyes that she didn't get it, and she was like, "Oh yes." And I threw her under the bus. I was like, "Oh, so what is it exactly, Charlotte?" No, but
I didn't like where it was going, so I pretended not to because I didn't want to.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, we fought a lot about Verso's
The
ending or
endings.
Maya's ending. Yes, it's still a bit
Our
touchy
biggest
though.
fight. Yeah.
Okay, so do we need to like move on? We need to be separated.
This is what we were talking about. The dysfunctional family. Everyone is witnessing what we go through.
I love it. Well, and then a small follow-up to that. How did you differentiate Mael and Alicia physically, other than Alicia's incredible outfit, which is my favorite in the game personally?
Well, kind of the same as Max. I didn't know I would be playing that character because I didn't even knew that she existed. So I played Mael the way I am, well, I added a bit of the teenager movements. But for Alicia, I didn't know what to do. But the fact that we don't see her face, I feel like it helped my body move differently.
Sure.
So I had to be very more precise in the gesture, so the player could understand what she was feeling, thinking, doing. So I really focused on that and tried to be more precise.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet it and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like putting on the mocap suit and all of that stuff feels a bit similar to mask work in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There is something like that. And plus you can see your face really big in front of you.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help.
That's got to be an interesting challenge.
That's disturbing a bit.
Was there a point where you got used to it, where you're just like, this is here, and you just like look past it and you're like,
yeah, at first it was complicated. We couldn't hug or do anything because we didn't want the camera to move. But after a while, we would get used to it and used to our face, and that's kind of humbling. When you see yourself wearing any makeup and crying all day long, you get used to your face.
Yeah. I just always think about the cinematic artists that had to deal with the worst angle of our faces every day of their lives for 2 years. And they still talk to each other, to us.
They're just intimately familiar with how the muscles of your face move.
Yeah.
They know too much about the fluids on our faces.
Oh, yeah. But we would go back every month, but like, oh, guys, hi, we missed you. We didn't. We didn't. We're sick of you, of your voices, everything.
But you know what people aren't sick of? They're not sick of Prince from streamily.com/expedition33. So make sure you get your Prince today. So has anyone had a chance to think on the Shakespeare question? I feel like a professor a little bit. Has anybody had a chance to think on Shakespeare? Yes, excellent.
Maybe I'm wrong, but am I allowed to talk about the characters that I played during the performance capture?
Oh, of course. I think so. I'm in charge. Yes.
Cool. Because I would say Gustav could be a modern Hamlet. Tired about the world, the like, but it's still let's go. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, again, like, I'm not sure, but I would say that.
Love it. Love it. Big Hamlet fan. Okay. Incredible. Well, unless anybody else has some Shakespearean revelations, which is totally fine. We're gonna get back together in a week. It'll be okay. All good. I mean, I think that kind of wraps up my questions, but this has been such an incredible experience. Thank you all for welcoming me. I was so happy to be here and chat with all of you. Also wonderful, and it was amazing to get insights on all the different characters. And now I just want to dive back in and play the game
and get that prequel.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and get some Prince.
Yeah,
Julie's prequel.
And look at the audio log, right? So my favorite audio log direction was sound a bit more like Margaret Thatcher. So try and find that one. That was a joy.
Ooh.
Oh, you're welcome. Look out for her. Maggie's in there somewhere.
Oh boy, we'll look for that one. Amazing. Well, yeah, thank you all so much for joining us on this Streamily panel in partnership with Sandfall Interactive. And thank you everybody in chat for hopping in and saying hello. It was awesome to see all the love for Clair Obscur Expedition 33, award-winning, and with more awards probably coming down the line. It's nominated for a few, so very exciting. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Did you listen music?
We're still here, guys. We're still
I think we
here.
are still here. I think we are still here.